just let John public know. News for so. Shall I jump it, we just blow. News for so. We don't create it, we just report it. So don't vex with we, don't turn up with frequency. We only updating on all the happening, and we doing it with no sympathy. When a famous English newspaper land based in Grenada, claiming police running all over with revolver because of Pakistani cricketers for breaking all laws. And after the investigation, escape the prosecutor clause. Mama is news for so. News in Kaiso, news for so. News with rhythm and tempo, news for so. We just let John public know, news for so. The power of Kaiso. What you getting from the radio? Yes, we have it in Kaiso. If you're working in toys or ministry and handling plenty money, and you hear they talking about inquiry, resign immediately. If any minister or leader causing you some danger, and you pray inquiry from court authority, tear up the damn paper. Mama is news for so. News in Kaiso, news for so. News with rhythm and tempo, news for so. We just let John public know, news for so. We don't create it, we just report it. So don't vex with we, don't turn up with frequency. We only updating on all the happening, and we doing it with no sympathy. They say the leader of the NNP is in a bad company, and if yes now, the A-team warning him, and if you continue to lead the party, there might be jeopardy, because rumors claim he getting underhand money. Mama is news for so. News in Kaiso, news for so. News with rhythm and tempo, news for so. We just let John public know, news for so. The power of Kaiso. What you getting from the radio? Yes, we have it in Kaiso. We don't owe no one apology who might disagree. From no one here in this country, there is no secrecy. With an antenna and monitor in every area, and an editor and director better than the informer. Mama is news for so. News in Kaiso, news for so. We just let John public know, news for so. The power of Kaiso, news for so. We don't create it, we just report it. So don't vex with me, don't turn up the frequency. And it's so nice to see what was once RFG in 1983, now move to observatory.
Yeah, Manamanune, Babadi, Mr. PM, I know it's been just 1 year, but I'm hearing a lot of concerns out there. Promises you made for the election, you say there would be no victimization. So now is the time for you prove yourself. The people really don't want to hear nothing else. We know that you're young and have vitality, so we want to see progress expeditiously. Like school of medicine, and how they treat Grenadians. Those who was not vaccinated, they got no compensation. They say you were the lawyer that kept them out from the job. Some say you was heartless, some say you was doing your job. So write them a letter and tell them that you sorry for all the people who got hurt and they lost their salary. Those unvaccinated workers who was locked out the gates, do something for them, Mr. PM, before they love turn to hate. Why? Because they are Grenadians who deserve your help. Do something for them with your government, they can't do it for themselves. I hear they say we not poor, we like handouts for so. But a lot of people really don't know what they eating tomorrow. Ooh, yeah, Mama me. When the government changed, oh God, was like some people win a prize. I hear a fella saying, well, it's now the country go nice. Because we just find a PM to make the country grow. The man love agriculture, he go plant nutmeg and cocoa. But the more things change, the more it remains the same. A lot of people don't realize politics is a game. But when you highly au fait on politics, they cannot lie to you. Because they go know for sure you will hold them accountable. Write Kit Mitchell a letter, listen what I'm saying. Thank him for his service, because yours has just begun. And running a country is not just old talk. Is when you foot in the shoe, young man, and you have to walk the walk. Hey, we are Grenadians who deserve your help. Do something for us, Mr. PM, we can't do it for ourselves. I hear they say we not poor, we have money in we pillow. But a lot of people really don't know what they eating tomorrow. Lord. Ooh, yeah. Mama me. This is my advice. Take it. Build more bathroom and toilets. This is not politics, because Grenadians really need it. Man, you have to uplift we standard. No more latrine pit. And in the next 5 years, none of that should exist. Now the seed program, we want more than 650. Cause anything less, that means we living in poverty. Don't let when mouth open, idle words just jump out. Like the 140,000 US for the man in South. When you write the letter, address it to the nation. Don't afraid to say sorry if something you don't understand. Because running this country, you must equip with the facts. From inaccurate statements, you have to stay away from that. Why? Because we are Grenadians. We're very intelligent. Don't think that we did not know you couldn't make us all prominent. Now you see the plane, another old talk again. Mr. PM, think before you talk, before you proclaim. Oh, yeah. Ooh, ah, ooh. it does not matter if we PM is old or young. Can you make us a republic? Can you build us one factory? Something practical, something with sustainability. Or is it business as usual, but people still cannot eat? No new job creation, so your mission is not complete. When you write the letter, this is what you must ensure. Those people that qualify, in the face, please don't shut the door. Cause they could make contributions to uplift this country. A united Grenada should be your priority. Why? Because we are Grenadians who deserve your help. Do something for us with your government. We can't do it for ourselves. I hear they say we not poor. We like handouts for so. But a lot of people really don't know what they're eating tomorrow. My advice, take it or leave it. Mama mia. Yes.
There we go. Man, you do have nothing to sing about in 2023. Cause you see that nothing ain't happening right now in the country. All the mail is done, the confusion done, the government ain't doing no wrong. You won't get the opportunity to cry the NDC down. You have to wait for something to happen to compose a calypso hit. Because I could write a song about nothing, the people go still love it. Cause I am the kind of composer who could put lyrics together. Not only nothing and kids, I could take nothing and make sweet music. Like when they keep jumping the money and they take back to people 150, you tell me, why not? Why not? So not because Dr. Mitchell and Delma find yourself in a bitter dilemma. Why not? Why not? And if the PM run out from in finance and he leave Cornwall in a monkey pants, die nothing, die nothing. So if Kit Mitchell say he don't want Peter to be an NP political leader, die nothing, die nothing. I'm singing but nothing, so I hope you ain't digging nothing. This song is but nothing, so I hope you ain't digging nothing. Fine like you're talking nonsense, only stupidness you don't say. You should resign from singing Kaiso and go and fish by the day. You know how them judges just thief you. Why the hell you went go abroad? Get away from this chain of violence from St. Vincent to Trinidad. Man, you cannot tell me to shut up just because I talking so much. Cause in the days of the NNP, you never asked the scholar to hush. The same scholar used to take nothing and do something to Kit Mitchell. St. David's people never started, and I wish brother didn't well. But after one whole year and a few months past, I see poor people still catching their ass. You tell me, die not, die not. And no matter how much I should have cried, the ruling party won't give her apply. Why not, die not. And when they shuffle up all the magistrate, Kinshama to Rinstone grab the bait. But I not, die not. My brothers and sisters in Carriacou used to love, but now they are afraid of you. But I not, die not. singing but nothing, so I hope you ain't digging nothing. This song is but nothing, so I hope you ain't digging nothing. Calypsonian, my responsibility is to keep you reliably informed unapologetically. You may call me a good for nothing, you may say that I'm talking shit, you may even call me a real bad man, but can't be a hypocrite. I was glad people get the pension, we know how much they deserve, and a new vessel for the Coast Guard, so they could better protect and serve. People getting money by monthly to boost the economy. No more free handout from the party, you have to work for your salary. But if you think in every Grenadian blind, when you're forced to win Martin to resign, you tell me, die not. Die not. And over the years, I think die the most promotion I see in the police force. But I not. Die not. Big NNP man killed in Caribou. All these officers don't know have a clue. But I not. Die not. Did you let the assailant get away? Never let me hear you say, die not. Die not. I'm singing but nothing, so I hope you ain't digging nothing. Turn it into something, so I hope you ain't digging nothing. Man, you do have nothing to sing about in 2023, cause you see that nothing ain't happening right now in the country. All the melee done, the confusion done, the government ain't doing no wrong. You won't get the opportunity to cry the NDC down. You have to wait for something to happen to compose a calypso hit, because I could write a song about nothing. The people go still love it, because I am the kind of composer who could put lyrics together. Not only about it and kids, I could take nothing and make sweet music. Like when they keep jumping the money and they take back poor people 150, you tell me, why not? Why not? So not because Dr. Mitchell and Delma find themselves in a bitter dilemma.
Good night to you, Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. I know some of you are wondering, where's he? I'm right here. Just making sure I have everything together for you tonight, yeah. And of course, yeah, you know, we had to talk about things. So I want to make sure that we had the things organized properly, yeah. So yeah, you all had to, in fact, watch, yeah. Let me listen to a tune here. Yeah, let me drop a little tune here while I make sure everything is in order. Special good night to all of you joining us via 91.9, 91.5 FM. We Noise Radio, 94.9 out there in Brooklyn. Also on We Noise Online. Yeah, and you could also get them on your Apple device and all kind of thing. Yeah, wait. You must call one night and tell people how they could get it on the Apple device and thing. Right, nice. Yes, indeed. And those of you joining us via YouTube, those of you joining us via Facebook, I'm going to do my shout outs in a short while. Somebody just sent something to me there. I just want to make sure that I have it queued up for you all to see. Yeah, let me make sure that you all can see. Yeah, all right, nice. Yeah, so let me just make sure I get that put together and thing, and we're good to go. All right, nice. So let me just make sure, yeah.
There we go.
A Grenadian man up in Miami, pick up the phone and telephone me, oh God. Small axe, I know you could comprehend. My PM, I want you help me defend. Imagine the man just got in power. He says he's Grenada biggest liar. Said the man is an attorney of law. Yes, the man is a big liar. But in case you still want a clue, he wanna go big case against workers for SGU. The man is a liar. Said by the stroke of the pen, every contract shall end and everyone shall meet permanent. The man is a liar. He increased his salary, decreasing money which he said should be $650. That man is a liar. To get the nurses to hush, he top up the post with 500 every month. That man is a liar. Yes, a real big liar. That man is a professional liar.
Yes, so let me say a special good night to Zayla. Good night to you. Yes, a good night to you, Zayla. Xavier, good night to you. Exalia, sorry, good night to you. And also a special good night to you, Zoe. All right, and let me see who is here on the YouTube so far. I'm seeing Agnes, Carl, Faithlin, Wilfred, Hillary, Alban, Michelle Alexander, Jen, Miriam Samuel out there in the UK. Special good night. Matthew Bowen in Brooklyn, Kathleen Ledlow, Jackie Raymond, Cynthia, Clive Raymond, Anna Lewis Sky, Marilyn Pancho, Ivy Holas, Beavis John, Baby Daddy, Alan Jones, Maria Noel, Alcy Peters, Maud Martin, Stephanie John, Gloria Emmons, good night to you, Gloria. Good Life, Public Notice, Sherma, Gloria, what do those people? Me and Gloria stand up having a conversation into myself, Gloria, and her daughter. A certain person working with a certain newspaper come and play this stand-up day and don't realize that I pick up on them already. Come stand up day. Yes, they're working in Informer. Come stand up day trying to listen to conversation to see what they pick up. So when we walking off, I just say, so they feel I don't see the stand-up day? I don't understand what to do some of these people, you know. Anyhow, Public Notice, good night to you. Sherma Jeremiah, Adrian Watts, Jocelyn Matheson, Christopher Johnson, Jocelyn Matheson, good night to you. Angie, Errol Bonaparte, Yolan Pariag, Deborah Laborde, Dominic Leroy, Kathleen Knights, Phyllis Mitchell, Sandra Pascal, good night to you. Deborah Laborde, I called Deborah before. Eliza Bernard, Vanessa Lalji, I think I called you before too, and Devin, Anne-Marie Celestine Grant, Anna Barbara, Kim, Hermina, Cindy, Lydia, Oswald, Anastasia Peterson, Ron Julian, Stephen Simon, Crystal Theodore, Jakeem Williams, Hazel, good night to Gemma Warwood, and let me see who is there on the Facebook. Well, as usual, London Day Dancing. Manda Charles, good night to you. Julius Bowen, good night. Veronica and Nimrod Peters. Kathy Albert and Marilyn Ferguson, good night to both of you. Lorna Allen, Earl Benjamin, Nigel Moore, Donna Francis, Christelle, I see you over here too, nice. Everett Prescott, Wendy McGuire, Teresa Collymore, Carol Celestine Wallen, good night to you. Shemaine, Red Girl, Sherms, good night. Charmaine, good night to you. Sharon, Denise, good night to all of you. Carla Kisha Walcott, good night. Davis, Charles, good night to you. Let me see, Lynn, good night. Shelby, let me see what else is there. Shawnell, Tegwa, good night. And Jillian Prescott, all of you joining us on the live there on Facebook right now. We say a special good night to each and every one of you. Yeah, some questions to ask tonight too. Yeah, quite a few actually. Yeah. But I know you all would have listened or may have listened to the Prime Minister's address tonight. I'm looking for your feedback on that address. I want to hear what you all think. Yeah? I have my own views in relation to it. I think that one was written by artificial intelligence too. I ain't think that any person, seriously, because I listened to all, it's about 11 minutes long. I listened to it. I'm still waiting to hear there some commiseration, some apathy, some sympathy for those who have suffered at the hands of the crime that has taken place in Grenada over the past few months, the last year, but let's look at the year 2023 for the past few months. I was waiting to hear from the Prime Minister some sort of sympathy, some sort of empathy, some sort of concern and consideration for the families that have lost loved ones. I read the speech, I listened to the speech, I watched the speech, and I'm still trying to find that section where there's some sort of, feeling like a human being. Human beings does feel. So we have concern for other human beings when they're going through things. So we would say, well, we know person A has gone through whatever it is, and as such, we are concerned about them. That a family has lost a son, or you have lost your brother, or you've lost some sort of loved one. I was looking for some sort of commiseration with those families. I'm still listening to hear, and I haven't heard that. Yeah, I'm still listening to hear there a specific strategy that is being employed to address the situation involving all the stakeholders. Now, I did hear the Prime Minister speaking about reaching out to the different organizations and the different groupings and so within the country, and making a special call on the opposition as well to be part of that entire mechanism that they are seeking to put in place. In fact, here's what. Let me play that section for you. Just listen. We cannot take the approach, because I see some of you saying you didn't listen. You have to listen. You may not like to listen, but you have to listen. Because if you don't listen them, then you won't hear just how unprepared, unknowledgeable that these individuals are for the governance of Grenada. You need to listen so that you would hear. Because I see people saying, well, me about I need to listen to them, no. But you do need to listen from time to time to hear exactly what it is. You may be disgusted, you may be upset, but I think it's always important, and I will always encourage persons to listen to things on all sides of the divide. Don't just say you're listening to talking points alone. Once you get the opportunity, listen to other programs as well. Yeah? Simon Says was excelente this afternoon. They can't answer Auntie Jenny and say anything that she say is not true. Yeah? Excellent. And Auntie Jenny she's no NNP. She's not a supporter of the NNP. She has never been to an NNP function as far as I know. Yeah, she's not a applicant member, nothing of the New National Party. She's just speaking on the facts that she has. The facts that she has. I'll always encourage people to subscribe to her page on YouTube, Facebook, whatever, to subscribe, like, and listen. Yeah? We have Prince. And on his program earlier, he was giving a lot of information, Royalty James. A lot of information about what needs to be done and what should be done in relation to the carnival season to secure your children, to secure your homes, and so on. If you didn't get Prince's program, go and look for Royalty James, look for him on YouTube, look for him on Facebook, and go over. That program had a lot of very important information that he shared there. Then you have Mosquito Man comes on. I think he had a program this morning. I was a bit busy this morning, so I wasn't able to follow him. So it's important to listen. Yeah? So let's hear a bit of what came across during the address this evening. Yeah. Well, that one, I know, that was more like a short skirt than an address. So it's more like a short skirt than an address. But anyway, let's so let's listen in to what was being said.
Given the importance of a collaborative approach to ensuring our collective safety and security, in the coming weeks, a series of consultations will be held across our tri-island state to gather insights from citizens, including specifically and particularly our young people, churches and church leaders, at our schools, including our educators, students, and administrators, non-governmental organizations, including community leaders, community groups and activists, law enforcement and the prison authorities, the labor and trade unions, the business and private sector, health sector workers, in particular mental and community health workers, and others, to obtain their input in the development of a comprehensive national security plan to ensure that Grenada remains a safe, secure, and stable society. These consultations will create a platform for open dialogue where we can collectively discuss concerns, share innovative ideas, and build consensus on the best possible measures to uphold law and order. I invite all stakeholders to play an active role in these discussions, especially our young people. Your voices, ideas, and commitment are vital as we forge a path towards a safer and more inclusive Grenada. I also take this opportunity to extend a special invitation to the leader and members of His Majesty's opposition to join us in this endeavor. The safety of our communities is the responsibility of all of us.
So yeah, folks. So you've heard the Prime Minister there speaking on during his address tonight and speaking about consultations and so on. I mean, yeah, they're kind of behind because the New National Party, outside of having the sessions with the young people last month, outside of the constant sessions that you see Sister Emlyn Pear is having with those young people, and Sister Kate and all of the members of the NNP are having with young people. You have Honorable Peter David and the work that he does with young people in the court system. And so none of them on the NDC side considered us do that. Tell them was corporate lawyer and so on. So you have the New National Party and the constant work that they have been doing in trying to assist with this issue. So it's glad to see that the Prime Minister has now come around to understanding what we have been preaching for the past couple months. That there is a problem. Because we heard the Assistant Commissioner of Police, Mr. Vanny Cohen, claiming basically that Grenadians don't have to worry. It's not no big set of thing taking place. It's small crime. What taking place in Grenada, you don't have to worry too much about that. Giving that kind of impression. Quoting a lot of statistics. Trying to give the impression that there's nothing to be of concern about. But the Prime Minister do an address where he spoke to that after he did a press conference on it just about a week or two ago. And then the Royal Grenada Police Force did a press conference last week on it. And then they're doing, I think they have a press conference tomorrow, but I think that one more deals with Carnival and the kind of thing. So all of a sudden, there's this flurry of activity by the government in relation to the issue of crime. Only because the New National Party has consistently been saying there is a problem. You need to, one, acknowledge that there is a problem. Two, engage people who understand what is taking place and who have an idea of how to address the situation at hand. Yeah? And three, formulate a plan of how you are going to address those issues. So the Prime Minister speaking about since in June, they created some steering committee. So realize they haven't created a National Security Council. They have created a steering committee. In other words, they tell 2 or 3 people, all they put together a document to decide what a National Security Council should look like. But if you're doing something like that, the people who got nearly 50% of the vote, you ain't engage them on that. Not from the parliament level, not from the government level, at no level. The people who have dealt with this sort of issue before, who have been out in the communities, ask people like Ram Ram, who used to be one of the drivers that used to go out with the Ministry of Youth. You can't ask Mr. Bonaparte, he's gone to the great beyond. But ask the people who have been members of the Ministry of Youth staff, when it was the Department of Youth, over the years that when you had these little sort of negative activities taking place, you used to go out into the communities and engage. And even before they start, right, something starts in a community, you know the guy is there because you've been there before. So you're able to call on somebody and say, what is the problem? And go there to try and address these issues. Yeah? So instead of you just reach now and you're talking about we're ready to engage and that sort of thing. Remember last night, we played for you Mr. Lacrette, because the people who told you that they know everything and they know how to deal with the issue of youth and creating employment for youth have now admitted to you they know nothing. They know how to deal with the issue. They're seeing young people on the blocks. And they must see young people on the blocks because they have created the enabling environment for them to be on the blocks. They have sent home. They have damaged the economy. They have done the negative things that have contributed towards these young people in the numbers that they are now being on the blocks. So now they're asking, they want to consult. Because the people who told you they were ready, these are the same people that told you they were ready to run the country. So they want to consult on how to find jobs for the youth and so. Now they want to consult in relation to the crime situation. The New National Party has sent out press releases, in relation to this. The opposition, separate from the New National Party. New National Party is in opposition, but the parliamentary arm, the opposition in parliament, they have spoken on this issue several times in the parliament. Dr. Mitchell did a special press interview on the issue of crime. He's spoken about it in parliament. Every member on the opposition team has spoken on this issue. And they have not just spoken on it and said that taking place, that taking place, that taking place. They've spoken and they've offered solutions and direction. You've seen several programs. Only this week, we had Mr. Nimrod Oliver on the program with us to discuss the issue of crime and strategies that can be employed to deal with those situations, and also to unmask the fallacies that were put forward by ACP Kerwin. The man basically come and tried to tap everybody's head with some figures. But luckily, we had Mr. Nimrod Oliver, with all his years of experience, was able to come and demystify all of the fallacies. Well, okay, let's put it straight. All of the lies that were being put forward by Mr. Kerwin. The same Mr. Kerwin who went on the press conference and saying that people making a big thing about what's going on in the country, but so nothing much ain't going on in the country. There's only a 4.2% rise or decrease or whatever it is in crime. But you want to have no consultations throughout the country to find out what to do? We've said it. Engage with all the different sectors. Now you hear the Prime Minister starting to repeat. That's good. It's not a bad thing. He's starting to repeat what the New National Party has been saying for the longest while. Engage. Fighting crime is not just the Royal Grenada Police Force and the Ministry of National Security. Crime is a healthcare concern. When a guy goes somewhere and he get his hand chopped off, it's the hospital he had to go to. Yeah? So it's the staff at the general hospital, the surgeons, the other doctors, the specialists, the radiologists, all of these technical people, etc., all of them have to deal with that guy. So it affects them. It affects the healthcare system. When somebody goes and they get involved in some sort of negative activity and they end up having to visit the hospital, it is a strain on the healthcare system, which we already know is going through a tough time. Regardless of what they've said in relation to medication, I'm still hearing stories. I'm still hearing stories when it comes to medication and other such things. So when you have an issue like crime, obviously you have to deal with healthcare. You have to deal, and Prime Minister did mention it because we mentioned it before, that you must engage. In fact, like you take we speech, chop out what you want from it and try and put together a thing. But artificial intelligence, we know what's going on. Yeah? So mental health, the importance of mental health in relation to the detection of crime, prevention of crime, and so on. So the importance of the healthcare workers and the healthcare facilities in that context. The school system, the education system. So the teachers, the principals, the Grenada Union of Teachers. Yeah? As much as I may have my issues with their leadership, they are an important partner if you're dealing with these issues. So the Grenada Union of Teachers. The trade union movement on a whole, not just the Grenada Union of Teachers, the trade union movement on a whole. So Brother Andre Lewis and the TUC, they have a role to play as well through their membership and to their membership when it comes to this issue of crime. Yeah? So it could be the fishermen on the bay. It could be the guys who lime in on the block. One of the strategies we always use is we went to the guys on the block. If you're having something in a community center, the guys on the block would sit down on the block and lime. They might be listening what's going on in the community center, but they ain't saying nothing, they ain't coming. So outside of what you had going on in the community center, you must go and engage with the others on the block. The staff at the Ministry of Youth who were around when I was around could tell you that was one of the strategies that we use. Outside of your meeting that you have in one location, you have some guys that going around outside and interacting with fellas, and some ladies going and interact with those guys on the blocks. And sometimes you get them to enter the meeting and so. And some people say, well, you're giving them too much ideas. No, all of us have to live in Grenada. So if we want to see Grenada safe, we all have a responsibility to be part of the solution and not part of the problem. So we all need to help identify solutions. Yeah? So the Prime Minister is calling and asking for something. So I hope, Brother Nimrod Olivier, if you're listening, I hope you go finally get a call. Because you've spoken in depth on this issue. Yes, so I hope that finally you won't get a call when it comes to this issue. Folks, 440-7377 and 347-329-3101. Give me your views, those of you that have listened on the Prime Minister's address and in specific this section dealing with crime. I'm still waiting to hear some commiseration, as I said, some sympathy, some empathy with the people who have lost their loved ones. And of course, the new National Party has organized, they're talking about consultations in the next few weeks. The opposition, the opposition has already organized a session for tomorrow. Why do you think they run and do the thing today? The opposition has a forum tomorrow where they've asked the business community, everybody to come and discuss what issue? The issue of crime and violence. So we're waiting. That's why they're rushing now to come and try that one. But anyway, that's no problem, man. Come with it.
I wouldn't get no competition because my idea is 1 in a million. When I look at them Chinese and Syrian and I see how they making progression, I decide I must live.
So tomorrow at the Parliament building, I have to get the time exactly because I know various sectors were asked to send representatives, and so various ministries and private entities and so on, NGOs and so were all contacted for if they want to send people to that meeting. It's going to be taking place at the Parliament building tomorrow. I'll get the exact time and that sort of thing. Yeah?
This cup of tea cheaper than your vote. Forget rum, forget Heineken, and come and support healthy living. Oi, oi.
So up, ma'am, all you put in ACP Kerwin out to talk anytime soon again. That was the same person that was saying we don't have no problem, everything normal, everything normal. Right? That we might have a spike in that area, but that is not come on. Because if you're saying that the area that you have, instead of crime, well, yes, I'm seeing here the time is 1 p.m. So that will be taking place 1 p.m. And so religious leaders, community leaders, law enforcement, social development, education, retired individuals, all of these people have been asked to come together to discuss this issue. Yeah, I think even the government itself, the ruling party has been invited. And so I'm not sure. I believe they've been invited as well. So we look forward to that session taking place tomorrow when it comes to the issue of crime and violence in our country, yeah?
You go take good care of your family. So please give me your support. This cup of tea cheaper than a Coke. We know them things have plenty caffeine. So come and support healthy living. Woy, woy. Aye, aye, aye.
And we have a call online. Good night.
Hey, good night, Brother Sheldon.
Hi, good night.
Hey, hold on.
Quite fine. Go right ahead.
Hey, Brother Sheldon, just send us something for the Uganda Methodist Church at Happy Hill.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, to give me a permission. Yeah, the Uganda Methodist Church will be having a health fair this Saturday at the Happy Hill Primary School, starting at 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Alright, at Happy School compound. So everyone is invited to come to the health fair and to check upon the body, because in this hard and difficult time, Brother Sheldon, with what's going on in the country, it's important for people to come and check and see, make sure everything is okay with them. So they have Uganda Methodist Church Saturday coming at the Uganda Methodist RC School. Starting time 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. So Brother Sheldon, have a blessed evening.
All right. Thank you. So that health fair is taking place this Saturday. Those of you that want to go and check your little blood pressure, your blood sugar, and them kind of thing at the Happy Hill School, head on out there and check. So I'm glad that they finally come around to understanding that they need help. So you're hearing the Minister of Health saying that they need help when it comes to what to do with the young people and so on, because they obviously did not have a plan. Outside of getting into office, they had no plan of what program they're going to put in place to assist the young people of Grenada. So now they're asking for help. And nothing is wrong for asking for help. If you need help, ask for your help. But at the same token, you were the people that said that you knew what to do, that you were ready, and you were able. But now you have proven that you were lying to us, and that you were lying to the people that have voted for you, that you were lying to the Grenadian people in general. Because we find ourselves in a situation now where everything comes up now. Now you need to ask questions. Nothing is wrong with the consultations, Nothing is wrong with having those consultations. But you all were the people that said that you had all the answers. Every issue you talk about, it was like, bam, 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 they have answers, they're ready. All of a sudden now, you need to meet with everybody and you need all hands on deck. You need all hands on deck. But yet still, all people who are perceived to be supporters of the NNP in various ministries are being tormented, are being sidelined and maligned. People who worked, you just did your job under the New National Party, those people are being told all sorts of negative things. They're being stressed out. I seen people who are they're just doing the job. I never see them in an NNP meeting. I never see them in an NDC meeting. I never even see them in a GULP meeting back in the days. Not even in an NJM meeting. I never see them in no political meeting. These people, all they have done is their job. And now I see some of them getting gray hair. You ask them what happened. Boy, pressure. Instead of being allowed to do their job, you have ministers throwing word for them. I'm talking about senior people in ministry. Ministers acting like little boys on the playing field and little girls on the playing field, throwing word for senior people in ministries. Telling them, well, you go in just now, You have to go so or so. And then forcing other people to resign. So don't think that Mr. Edwin Martin, Mr. Christopher Husbands, and Ms. Shirla Fields, don't feel all of them just resign like that. Don't feel all of them just get up and say, well, I resigning. There has to be something, some sort of impetus, some sort of push behind them to ensure that they resign. So don't feel they just get up and resign. It have a lot more behind that. It have a lot more behind that. Folks, 440-7377, as I said, that's the number for you to call and get onto the inside of tonight's program.
Because my idea is 1 in a million.
Good night to you, Lystra Abraham.
Them Chinese and Syrian.
And Fitzroy, good night to you.
Making progression. I decide I must leave a legacy.
Yes, I look for the signal.
Hey, selling integrity. Buy one cup and get one free. Man.
We've got a call online. Good night.
Good night, Sheldon Scott. Good night.
Good night, Teresa
And good
Scott.
night to the Grenadian people who listen to me about Patty and Matthew. Good night. Well, Sheila and Darlington is here. I can say good night to them. They're in Grenada and vocation. Sheldon, I didn't listen to the Prime Minister, not listening to Dick Mitchell. I don't want to hear nothing he has to say. That is my right. I don't want to hear nothing he has to say because when people don't love people, they don't have no love for nobody. I don't want to hear them. I want nothing to do with these people. They just know about things with people. They took bad mind. That's what I have to say tonight. They bad mind. They have no love for people. And this thing had to happen to them. And I don't know, I vex with you. I don't know why you don't give them advice. Why? Look at that old lady in Grenville of day. They say 80-something else. She have a doctor that's blind. And you take the money. There are not people who talk about this. People them is bad mind people. And they shame. And I don't like listening to you play a clip with the one they said is in hell. Eh? They don't have a heart. They don't have a heart for people. And I don't care what nobody saying Grenada. I have no sympathy for them. I don't care what they do. They just start. You take away old people money. Old people money. They mount at the people and them. That's why they think they begging now. I don't want to hear nothing from Cohen. I don't want to hear nothing from police. None of them. Are they treat Grenadians like dogs? Poor people that work and build this country. And look at how you treat them. You just go there. You didn't have a month yet. You take money for and you give them almost, I think they say $2,000. I don't work for nothing. I do not give the NNP government credit for the hard work they do. Are you taking all that credit? As if people stupid in Grenada. Are they alone not right? Are they alone not right? Are you suffering people? People stressed. I'm tired. I wish I could have helped all the people that coming to me. Every day somebody coming. Every day. God, if I lie, put me down. Every day a mother coming. Miss Tammy, oh God, they take me $75 or they give me the little child for school. They don't have uniform. They don't have money to buy books. I don't have for myself, but I still have to try to help somebody. Bad-minded people. Bad-minded people, Mr. Tellisford, Mr. Andrews, Miss Gloria, all these wicked people are going in hell. And you can't do me nothing because my God is able to see me through. And you try for me to fall on and dead. But God is with me. That's not little bad mind. I is the worst government. The worst that passed through in Grenada. Worst. And you must go. And you must go, Mary West. Good night. Oh, and before I go, Mr. Scott.
Yes, ma'am.
We got to thank the people that try to help us for the poor children in this country, the poor people, that the children that get a little exercise and the books, and the people that drop the little $20 and $5 and $10, and that poor people they send home, that still make little contribution. I don't want to hear about this and them. I turn off my radio. I turn my radio off in the bus terminal. I know you played it. I turn off the TV. I don't want to see them because, my God, we are Grenadians. Eh? And look at how you're treating people. Under Keith Mitchell, under Claudius Mitchell government. I know of people in Bushajouye that is strong in the supporter, even when I support them. And they work. They never out of a fortnight. And now, you have people up here that telling people it's my time now, and they won't give them a day off. And you have to go. God, they have to go. The day will come. The long this prayer of amen. And I don't care. I don't live in a none of you island, so now you winker fall. I stay on the ground when you coming down. I will catch all you. And you have a lot of energy that turn. They turn like milk when you put a dirty pot with cow milk to boil. I don't know what they do them, what bribe, and they got, I ain't know it to go. Know it to go. I will not be ungrateful to them because I know where I was and they helped me. Good night to Grenada. Who want to write other comments and say, I could say what I want. But I speak my mind. I don't want nothing to do with NDC. This NDC supporters right now in Grenada. Are you not nice people? Are you not nice people? You have to treat people, show people love and treat them right. Show people love. You understand? And I just hear a caller talk about the health care. That is the church that having that health care. They having it Saturday in Appeal. Everybody come out and still donate something so because give the people that come in and test for prostate and cancer and AIDS and all kind of thing. And parents before go speak to the girls, children. I find Grenadians wild now with this kind of writing. Speak to your children. Speak to especially them little girls. And then someone a singer going on the way they dress. They're exposed to the world. Speak to them. Have a good night.
All right, Kiami. Yes, indeed. Miss Kiami, she does drop it like it's hot. Yes, and while I might have different opinions to those that Kiami has, she's entitled to her opinion. Yeah? So I always say, try and listen all the sides. So when you form, nobody can tell you, well, you're only listening one set of people and so, but to each their own. I've said it before, to each their own. If you don't want to listen, you don't listen. But folks, before I go back on the national address, I just wanted to inform. The Public Workers Union, they signed an agreement with the government of Grenada recently, innit? Yeah? Remember, the NDC, not the government, the NDC was trying to force Mr. Brian Grimes' hand to sign the agreement. Just as the teachers and all of them had signed the agreement, teachers and them didn't get the fringe benefits that the Public Workers Union get. So Public Workers Union, they got various fringe benefits, right? So they got fringe benefits like contract workers. Usually, when you have the negotiating cycle and you have the increases and so, contract workers are not always included. Yeah? So they have where the contract workers are included and all that kind of thing. Only for today, for me to realize that, this was sent out by the Public Workers Union, right? And as you can see, that was sent out today in relation to the issue of non-payment of wage increases to contract workers. Yeah, the same people that say they go pay them. Non-payment of wage increases to contract workers. And for those of you that are listening online on radio, I'll read it. Dear members, the Grenada Public Workers Union is concerned about the non-payment of wage increases and retroactive to many of our contracted workers post-signing of the collective bargaining agreement on the 28th of June. Today we are on the 3rd of August. 28th of June 2023. The following clause enshrined in the January 1st, 2023 to December 31st, 2024 collective bargaining agreement refers. With respect to officers on contract within the bargaining unit, these salary increases will be applied to their contracted salary upon renewal of their contracts in instances where these contracts are renewed annually and on an annual basis where the contractual terms span more than 1 year. The salary increases shall also apply to officers holding fixed term letters issued by individual ministries. The Grenada Public Workers Union, understanding the seriousness of maintaining the legal integrity of the CBA, collective bargaining agreement, wrote to the Department of Public Administration on the 13th of July, 2023, and the 31st of July, that is Monday, 2023, respectively, expressing concerns about the collective bargaining agreement not being honored. To date, we have not garnered an official response. So the PWU wrote to government on the 13th. They wrote to them again on the 31st. And they still are not getting a response. Despite these developments, the Grenada Public Workers Union remains optimistic that we receive clarity on the matter soonest from the authorities and the agreement will be honored for the benefit of contract workers throughout the service. And they say the Public Workers Union will update as the matter unfolds. In unity, success is assured. So we're seeing that there from the Grenada Public Workers Union, because we know the Prime Minister went there and sit down and all kind of thing. I don't know what the Prime Minister is doing, but he went and sit down when the agreement being signed and all kind of thing. And now we're seeing, that it has not been, they didn't do what they promised they would do. So there were several fringe benefits outside of the salary increases, because what is supposed to happen is those contracted workers were supposed to receive retroactively. So they're supposed to receive their percentages per month for January coming down to the present. So they're supposed to get all of that in a lump sum and then start getting their percent, if it's 2% or 4%, whatever, they're supposed to get that on a monthly basis thereafter. Well, bi-weekly basis thereafter. But what we have seen is that according to that release by the Public Workers Union, then people don't gain their money. They gain the normal money, those who are getting the money, because there are concerns by many people who are within the service that they have not been receiving their salaries. Yeah, or they have not been receiving it on time. So you have several allegations of that taking place within the public service as we speak. Yeah, and various other categories of workers like the road workers and so on, who are having situations where they're waiting over a month and more to try and collect their little kakara. And then when they didn't gain the full thing, they gain part. All sort of madness like that taking place. So again, yeah, maybe the Prime Minister would address that one. I mean, they write to them on the 13th of July. That is what, about 2 weeks, a little over 2 weeks ago. They wrote to them on the 13th of July, and they wrote to them again on Monday. Today's Thursday. And the Department of Public Administration even acknowledge and write back to the Public Workers Union to say, we've got your letter. We are in contact with the Ministry of Finance to try and sort this issue out. Not even that, they have the decency to get in contact with the Public Workers Union and say, well, are we? 440-7377, that's 440-7377. That's the number for you to get on to the inside of tonight's program. And again, I'd like to join with Cami in thanking all of you that have been given the little $5, the little $10, the little $20 and so on that we've been using to get the different items that we have been giving out to the children out there. All right, we'd like to thank each and every one of you.
In business, start like a bang.
Those of you outside of Grenada who would like to contribute, yeah, the link is there on the page. You can contribute via that link.
Stop drinking bush for people fever. Man, they drinking tea now.
And we've got a caller online.
Sheldon.
Yes, ma'am.
I won't be long. You know Superman, the Superman in Lagoon Road?
I just call him Congo.
Right, but I tell all the years that guy selling the soup there, since Tumba and them beating drum.
Yeah.
The man getting crazy because they're moving from there. Yeah, they are him full up with a sheet lie down by the road.
Well,
you see how frustrated he could be with people?
Well,
they have people frustrated. This is poor people. These are poor people in this country, and you have some people in America and in Canada and England that sit down there and run in the mud. They don't live in here. They come down with all their barrels for carnival now. And to sell all the things. And Grenadians who they here can make $1 and are you running out your mouth. And this thing was so. They come down with all their barrels to sell the thing. And we there you catch me here. And that Rasta man going mad.
Well,
Cammy,
if the man take us to court, we could end up in problems because we do not know that he's getting mad. No, a doctor would have to verify that he is tripping off or so. We could say he must be frustrated, and he seems to be frustrated.
He's rolling up, he's pulling up his street by the road, so that means he's getting mad?
Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
He's always been an eccentric character.
Something all right, yes, sir.
I'll be very careful. But I know what you're talking about because I've heard from several people exactly what you said.
He disturbed then.
Well, I've heard from several people exactly what you're saying.
Well, I apologize then.
Yeah. No, just saying we got to be careful.
Something wrong with him?
Yeah.
Because he wasn't a guy like that. He wasn't functioning, so he used to go and sell the thing, and he didn't used to fall up in street by the road. So he had to be either he had to be frustrated or something.
But Cammy, you know something too?
He's not himself.
No, I've heard it.
Well,
Cammy,
okay, well, Mr. Don't take me to go to apologize.
Cammy, no, but
crazy.
Cammy,
but it's not,
but you know something? Remember his location, right there by Tropicana. That used to be a hotspot. That does be a hotspot on Juve morning, you know.
Yes, but
So
people
imagine
from all over the
he
world
not there.
knowing they went around Carnival
Yeah.
to buy soup and even during the week. So that's to tell you how bad minded people is. And he still have Grenadians. He have Grenadians. Yes, sir.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
You have people in Grenada that know that young man there for all the years selling and they still agree with what they do to him. It's not right. It is not right. I can't use these words, so I speak in my language. It's not right. This NDC people is not right. But are they going to go? And we're going to see how they walk in the street one day. If not, they go tomorrow morning, and they must go. And are they still have to face the Grenadian people? Somehow, you have money, you don't have money, you have to face the people in this country. And you can't run to go nowhere. You understand? It's not right. Do the right thing and you all go get love. If you give love, you get love. Good night, Dr. Mitchell.
All right.
And they have an activist that's saying, shalom everybody and wishing everybody bad. When your day come, it's Shango. Good night.
That can be no easy, you know. Can we say Shango? Folks, 440-7377. That's 440-7377. Yeah, to be honest with you, if you haven't listened to Prime Minister's address, you really didn't miss anything, to be honest. No, I'm just being honest. You didn't waste basically 10 minutes if you didn't listen to his address. Again, it's like artificial intelligence, so it's no emotion and no empathy and no sympathy. If Dr. Mitchell doing an address like that, you would hear him start with, he extends his sympathy to the families who have lost loved ones. Yeah? Whether it's the loved one who has died or the loved one who has been involved in causing that death. But he extends sympathy and he shows empathy towards those families. Yeah? This Prime Minister, he come, he read that thing and he gone. Yeah? Quick. Like, he's just doing it for doing its sake. So, bid him, bam, gone. Yeah? I mean, come on. We have a caller online. Good night.
Rastafari.
Yes, I.
What's up?
I'm good, man.
How old is the Prime Minister?
The Prime Minister should be around 46.
But I think 46 years, a man 46 years should know what is decency and respect, Nazo.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So, how is it that all the disrespect that was shown to the opposition leader, he never come out and say anything about it and tell his MPs don't behave like that to the opposition leader. But now he's asking the same man to help in the crime scenes and everything else. How you expect that will happen?
But not only that, in the meeting that took place in St. George Northwest on Monday, there were certain statements. I won't repeat them on this program. I'm moving like Cammy right now. I'm not repeating those things on this program. But there were certain statements made by the Minister of Agriculture, casting various aspersions at the former Prime Minister. And I'm surprised Northwest people sit down there and let this man disrespect Dr. Mitchell like that. I'm very surprised. Yeah? The Minister of Agriculture, persuader, certain things that he was saying. Right? I won't repeat it. I won't play it on this program. But I'm saying that you can't be having your ministers who sit in cabinet with you, who sit in the executive of a political organization with you, disrespecting the opposition leader and members of the opposition team in the way that they are doing, and then expect people to just deal with you on a normal level. Yes, I know the opposition is always willing to help on national issues, but look at this. Let me explain something. You have a committee now, my brother? You have a committee now for the 50th anniversary of independence of Grenada. They stack it up with only NDC people, no NNPD. They ain't ask the new national party, well, send a representative or two, or send a representative. Not even one. They ain't contact the NNP and say it's the 50th anniversary of independence, which is a national thing, that at least you all should have a representative there or suggest somebody to be a representative there. Nothing like that. Now you're coming when it's on the crime thing, and you're saying, well, you don't know what to do, you need help, and you're offering an olive branch.
It shows that these guys are at the end of the goal, at the end of the days, because the fact remains, if you want the opposition leader and his members to come over and help you, then you have to involve them in the independence celebration as well. You have to have members of the opposition involved too. So I don't know how they're moving. They're moving like, and not even like little children, they're moving like uneducated people. I mean, they're moving like people with education at all. I mean, they're moving strange. And I mean, we can learn nothing from these guys. All we could learn is to how to hate people and wickedness. I mean, we don't want to learn that because we know that already. We want to learn more of that. So I just pray that they will catch themselves. I hope pray that they will wake up and understand that this kind of thing they're doing there ain't going to help them with the next thumb. No, they are only a thumb on the finger, and 2 thumbs they have on the finger.
And
they ain't going to get that.
Well, that is if they even end up with 2 thumbs, they might end up like Scaramouche. But, boss, outside of that, you've heard what happened with the Public Workers Union there? That they promised they would pay the contract workers, and now there's nothing there. The contract workers still waiting because, I mean, remember, they're looking at school books and different things right now. Some people looking at Carnival, but some looking at these things. And that little extra money that coming in would have been very handy. But
yeah, that.
And the workers are asking.
Do what you're doing it. Do what you have to do. We all have to do what we have to do because we can't really change the situation as it is at the moment. But at the end of the day, if we speak out of the wrongdoings, they may take heed and change. I don't know. But it doesn't seem like they have intention to change at all.
Mm-hmm.
We have a good night out.
Thank you very much, my brother.
Blessings.
All right. Yes, indeed. 440-7377. That's the number for you to call and get on to tonight's program. 347-329-3101. That's the other number for you to call. If you're outside of Grenada, you can also call us on WhatsApp on the 440-7377 number. You can call us via WhatsApp on that number as well. It should be roughly about 9 o'clock on the island of Grenada at this point in time. Let me ask you a question. Since we've been speaking about national security, I would like to ask a question. Earlier this week, did or did not a private plane from the Middle East enter Grenadian airspace, land at the Maurice Bishop International Airport? Some people walk off with a bunch of briefcase and suitcase, drop it in the VIP lounge, and go back on the plane and go. Yeah? I want to know what really take place there. What come in them suitcase? I want to know. Because a private plane that either came from or is associated with a particular territory in the Middle East came into Grenadian airspace and landed at the Maurice Bishop International Airport. I ain't ready to give date and time and so on yet. People alighted from that plane, drop off some suitcase and different thing at the Maurice Bishop International Airport in the VIP area and then go back on the plane and go. So I want to know what really take place with that. All right? 440-73. Since we're talking national security, you understand? 440-7377. Good night.
Good night, Mr. Sheldon Scott. How you doing?
I'm quite fine, man.
Long time no see you, man. So I say I get a call tonight.
How you doing,
Hear
brother?
Me, brother? Brother, good night.
I'm good.
Long time I don't call.
Yes, indeed.
But Sheldon, I want to talk about something tonight. You know what amazed me, Sheldon? Sheldon, let me tell you something. I'm an NMP to the bone, and I ain't giving up. I'm a strong NMP, and people go tell me what? Since the election done, I carry my 2 banners in my hand. My workplace don't tell me to take it down, because they know the work kind of person I am, and they know I ask that. But what amazed me, Sheldon, is to talk to people like who support the NDC, and you tell them the problem and what are going in our country, how people are feeling it, and things that people are calling on the other radio station and say, look how they have not get paid, and they are telling you, mind, things nice, things good. I said things good because you walk in, you're making $1, but what about that man who don't have $1? Can't put food on the table for himself, on the shelf for his family, catching in, you know? And Sheldon, the things that hurt me, boy. I walk in. I'm not going to feel it as how the other person feeling it. But Sheldon, every day people bawling, every day they crying out, I don't have a job. People lost their job. People lost their mortgage. A man lost his mortgage up here. He have a security guy who would vote for the NDC. He say he's going to keep his job. He lost his job. They still fire him. You know, the man crying right now. I say, boss, what you want? You would give up your job because things was going nice in the country. All you going to put a set of lunatics, I can't call them, a baba boy, they don't know what to come to run this country. And they do a set of shit. People feeling it. And when you tell these men and them about these things, and they come and tell about how things mad and they paying on time. I say, well, they paying on time. People boring and people, there are people who right now need their money. And lady say, she go down for she pension. They say pension giving. When she go, she can't find it. She said she don't know how to find it because they can how can I rig my house? Go there. She said she tired going. She tired go where she had to go. She just says, just forget it. When you do it, boss, let me tell you something. God is taking note of what these people doing people in this country. And God going to deal with us severely. You can't afford to do poor people these kind of things and them. God should remember the poor. The poor you have with you always. Why are you treating people like this? Why are you doing them that? Some people getting $50, they're getting $40 from the $450 they're supposed to get. Talk about this thing, people telling you that's not true. Why are we like this? Watch, if the government can't run this country and they can't help the poor people in this country, leave now. We go take it for where they left off. We had enough of them. These men can't run the country. And when you talk, people saying about this and that, and they don't see the impact what other people are feeling. They don't see the impact. You think you get up in the morning, you have 4 children, and then you have a job and you lost your job, and you as a parent looking to see where you could find some food or something to give your children, and you can't find it, and you have to knock from door to door to get something to eat. That's what people do. You have people in Maryland here who do have it. They don't work in no way. Look, they just get 2 fortnight. What 2 fortnight could do parents right now have to buy books. Some parents, they say they don't play in carnival because they don't have the money. They have to buy the books for their children. And some of them still have all the money to buy the books. I have a brother who have a daughter. And right now, the mother is struggling to get the books. To buy the uniform and stuff like that. And I said, if I had money, I'd really try my best to help her. Grenadian, we don't see what's going on, you know. We just only talking. Must have a good night. God is good.
Thank you so very much. 4407377. I think we have another call on the line. Hello, good night.
Hey, good night, Sheldon.
Hey, good night, bro. How are you?
Hey, good, man. Good.
Yeah, man.
Sheldon, I kind of feel it to know that the Prime Minister tonight actually acknowledged that he need help to deal with the crime in the country.
Yeah, that's a step in the right direction.
Because some of his supporters, I remember when the chatters call on another program, and talk about crime, the rising of crime in the country, and how we should, deal with it before it got out of hand. Some of the NDC supporters, I could remember that lady, ex-teacher lady, who has a son working with government, holding how much position. She was claiming that Grenada is so peaceful and you don't have no crime, and we call him wolf.
She has no choice but to do that, brother.
But I see that the Prime Minister now acknowledge the fact that the wolves are here, because I tell them, I said that the wolves is already here. We don't call it no wolf. The wolves are already here, and we need to deal with these wolves. And I see that the Prime Minister tonight acknowledged that the wolves is here, and we need to deal with the wolf.
But we heard Mr. Kerwin claiming that, listen, Grenadians, people are overblowing the situation and everything is being overblown. Is nothing really to be worried about. We heard him basically saying words along those lines on 2 separate occasions with Kalistra, and again during the press meeting that was held last week, Friday.
Sheldon, Cohen is on the stats paper. He's looking at a paper that based on reports and things he gets.
But he's still misrepresenting the figures.
We deal with things directly on the ground. For one night, just Sheldon, for the last thing in Pandidi, after that thing in Pandidi, men get chopped up. We don't hear that one report. We don't hear no police report on it and all kind of. But the men could tell you who get chopped up and who didn't get chopped up, and they could tell you that the gang, this group in Coffeebo Hill want to fight this group in Four Roads, and it's
so we back to that again.
Just boiling. So we say we need to come together while it's early to deal with this thing. These people who play naive about what is going on, or a man just looking at I can't blame him, maybe just looking at a paper and he's saying that he's not really on the ground. He's not really on the ground. If he's on the ground, he will realize that there is some changes, serious changes on the ground, and some of these changes, Sheldon, comes because of the unemployment situation too. People get frustrated. Some youths get frustrated to see how their mother and father have been sent home and just home, and they just get frustrated and idle and just begin to make this the devil use their hands and their mind and starting to maim one another and do all kind of things that shouldn't be done. And I am saying, Sheldon, I know the unemployment situation has a lot to do with it. It's about hate, it's about unemployment, but the unemployment situation has stirred it up again. And we need to deal with that situation before. And again, the language that is being used, there is a kind of tribal political language in Grenada. The good people, them, and all kind of things. This brings a kind of thing to the youths where they disrespect each other because they're hearing the seniors or the politician or the people who are supposed to lead us a different way, breeding that kind of doctrine. Them and MP and them, they do good, and them shouldn't get no work, and them shouldn't this. That, Sheldon, is the seed of hatred. And hatred always breeds violence in the end. It causes discrimination, and it breeds violence. And if they don't understand what they're doing, this is a small country, and I always tell them, it's just 100,000 people where everybody nearly know everybody. And anytime you start that, you're changing this society. You're giving people different feelings against their neighbor. Children begin to move different because of the kind of message you send out there. And we calling on them to change the language they use. Use better language. When you want to describe your opponents and things, use better language. Don't try to make people feel that because a man is an NNP, he's no good. And the only thing for he shouldn't be even walking in Grenada. He should just go home, stay home and dead. That kind of feelings makes this country, it makes
because look,
people in this country feel.
In the last 2 weeks, you had the person in charge of Nawasa and now the person in charge of the stadium gone, 2 statutory bodies.
Yes.
Within the last few months, you've had the commissioner of police gone. You had the labor commissioner gone, but here they pop back up down by the airport where here in private plane landing and suitcase dropping. But here that's how the former labor commissioner end up down there now. So, and remember, there's a person that the present minister of labor was telling us had a problem with working with people. That's what that individual was claiming. So, but they don't on the airport now. So we're seeing the trend.
And the level of nepotism that these people display. Nepotism is another thing, Sheldon, that created this kind of problem. Their friends, their family, and their party supporters. We come to eat our food, and these people, we don't care what happened to them. Let's move from there. You owe the bank or what, and you're on a contract, but move from there. It's this kind of treatment. They just fire and send you home. We don't care. We don't care what happened to you. Your country should show you this caringness. Whether it's NMP or NDC in power, government should show in this sort of caringness for the citizens. And if the government is showing this kind of hostility to a certain group of citizens, it's like you don't care if they live or die. You're changing the society. You are doing it from a political level. You starting to change the society. You turning the society into a society of hate. It's the same thing what Hitler started when he wanted to get rid of the Jews. He started calling them all kind of names and blaming them for all kind of things. And this we see that this new administration come in office, and a year and months after, they cannot stop what they're doing. It's like they're just starting, because they're starting to target certain people who they didn't touch yet, and they're going after these people with this same spirit of hate and bitterness. Like you're not a Grenadian citizen, like you don't have a right to work here. Look what they do in the police force. Look how they turn the police force upside down with this foolishness. I am saying, Sheldon, if these people continue so, they are going to make Grenada a bitter place to live. So let's deal with it early, and I'm glad to hear that he calling for help, and I'm glad to hear that he called on even on the opposition, you know, to Her Majesty opposition, he called for help. It is good, Sheldon, and
it's not a bad thing at all.
And I hope he means it, because that help could only come if he really means it. Thank you, Sheldon.
All right, my brother. Thank you so very much. 440-7377. That's 440-7377. That's the number for you to call and get on to tonight's program.
A Grenadian man up in Miami. Pick up the phone and telephone me.
Hello, good night.
Sheldon, it's suckers and it's we don't like what he said, you know.
Of course he did not.
Because look at how they just call me stink so put on the terminal and leave the garbage in front of me and tell me, smell it. That happened last week. Our the manager talked to the man that's cleaning. He leave it there and tell me I have to smell it. Hatred. It's hatred.
And that's just so petty.
Whatever he said to me, because they're taking advantage. Look at what I going through on the terminal. You have men of a boss and saying, why don't you get rid of her? And the man telling me stink was so good. You understand? That's why you wish to do it. Sorry to call that. But as he talk about this thing, I called to let you know. I'm never again. I don't know if you have 610. I don't know if you have 610 or 410. I can't open me those. You cannot hatred. People just telling you all kind of disrespect. They're telling you all kind of dirty thing, and it wasn't like that. You know that wasn't so. Dr. Mitchell, don't help nobody.
All right, my dear. Yes, indeed, folks. So 440-7377. That's the number to call and get back into the inside. Folks, me didn't say people come and all I say is from the information that I've received. The plane, a private plane with Middle Eastern connections, I ain't saying exactly which country, entered Grenadian airspace, landed at the Maurice Bishop International Airport, offloaded a set of suitcase and briefcase and thing that went into the VIP, and then who drop it off? Went back in the plane and go. So I know since when you drop your luggage, and then I know how that does work out, but that's why I hear. Right? So if it's true, let us know it's true. If it's not true, let us know it's not true. All right? If it's true, let us know that it's true. If it's not true, you could try and lie and tell us it's not true. But anyway, if it's not true, tell us it's not true. You could try and lie and tell us it's not true. 440-7377. That's the number to call. And 347-329. Let's hear from the overseas. 347-329-3101. I know I did miss out one or two calls from you all. Special good night to you, Patricia and Matthew out there in Canada. My good friend Ian out there in Canada as well. Good night to you. All the listeners in Canada. I did see someone from Los Angeles jump in a while ago. I think it's Lois. Yeah, from Los Angeles. I saw you jump in a while ago there. Special good night. Well, let me see. It's good afternoon. Yes. Well, we'll say good night. We're going Grenada. Nice.
The man is a liar. He promised us to rent a plane, and he come back and say he ain't renting the plane again.
all of them who realize what it does be saying about Cammy today for Cammy, tomorrow for you, and yours might be worse than whatever she's going through. You have to pray that the Almighty has a kind of sense of fairness and balance. You have to afraid if you're going and you're doing that, what might be coming your way. So careful. Nice? We have a call online. Good night.
Good night.
Hi, good night.
Good night.
Good night, my dear. You're live. Go right ahead.
Yeah. 1 John 3:15 say, whosoever hateth his brother is a murderer. And ye know that no murderer has eternal life abiding in him. The Bible style these haters murderers. No, not me and you style them, so you know. The Bible style them murderers. And they acting as them. And so that's why you have to have a fear for them. Thank you.
All right, my dear. Thank you so very much. And I can't say that you love people if you do the things that have been done to people in this country. We could go down a list, you know. We could say, in fact, I could start from the night and the morning of election and what was done to the members of the security detail that were working with Dr. Mitchell. That story ain't really come out yet, and a lot of you know what those guys went through. Who had to stay up there and who went up there and tried to embarrass them and all sorts of things. Because they were simply doing their job as members of the Royal Grenada Police Force. Yeah? And they happened to be under the tail of Dr. Mitchell. Ask yourself how many of those guys get promotion in the promotions that pass there. Yeah? Ask yourself how much of them. So it started even as early as there. And then after that, you start to hear all kind of things happening. People that were dismissed from various departments and ministries and so sent home. What has taken place with the faith workers? The people who work under the faith program. And up to a year now, cannot receive their money from the government of Grenada. The faith organization had to take the government to court to get them to pay these people. Meanwhile, they put extra money on their $2,000 a month, $24,000 a year. Each minister make sure they get that for themselves. But the people who they might have had to pay a little $600 here or $1,200 there, they refuse to pay those people. And don't try to put it on the faith organization, because you all did not pay the faith organization to pay the people. The faith organization is an NGO. And if you go through GIFSA, you realize it's one of the only NGOs that is properly registered within the state of Grenada. A lot of NGOs running out there, and you know for a fact that they are not properly registered, that their documentation is incomplete. But not the faith program. Yeah? So yeah, your people meeting people and calling people misfaith and all kind of nonsense and stupidness. Meanwhile, the people who work under the program, you refuse to pay. Refuse to pay. So those people don't have books to buy for the children. Those people don't have cooking gas and food to buy. Those people don't have electricity and other bills to pay. Those people seem to be non-existent. So you can't tell me you like people and simply to spite a political organization and individuals, you have decided not to pay. Well, the court will decide, and you might end up paying a lot more, because when you pay now, you got to pay penalties, damages, interest, all kind of thing. So you might end up having to pay, you will end up having to pay a lot more. Yeah? So they refuse to pay the faith workers. Then you had what happened to other workers in other departments, the people who were right now, how much the bushing that have going on, and so those people ain't getting employment, and only certain people getting employment. And you're hearing people who working here and working there, they're getting the same thing this accuse NNP of. They're doing 20 times worse. They are doing, this is a fact, 20 times worse than what they accuse the New National Party of. People working in constituency offices and have contracts on the road. That is a fact. And not in one or two constituencies, or several constituencies around the island. And they see nothing wrong with that. And you tell me you like people? You like people. And before election, before election, Kindra Mathurin Stewart, now a magistrate, gave out houses to people in Carriacou. The people started the process. They started to organize a little thing to furnish the place and so. And then you came and take the houses back from those people and tell them they have to reapply after they already get a document in their hand on national television. They got the documents in their hand for the house. Everybody said they're so happy for them that it was evenly done. You can't say that it was party because you support this party or that party that you got your house. The people got their houses. And what happened? You take back the houses from them. And then you gonna tell me that you like people? The people who are under the SEED program, we started this week with SEED. The people who are under the SEED program. And you do like if the people grow into a tree, so you remove the 150 from the people under the SEED program. And then trying to blame it on the former administration with all sorts of obfuscation and all sorts of nonsense, trying to blame the former administration for your absolute failure and incapability to handle the job that you have been handed. About the former administration didn't put it for... You just do the budget for 2023. It was your responsibility. But you're trying to blame the NNP like typical spoiled children. You know, sometime in a household, it's a one child are real spoiled. Anytime they do something, they go and they blame another brother or sister. And if the parent ain't careful, they go in and punish the wrong child because that one child just spoiled. So they're doing all kind of thing. And then after they get the blame, it's not me, it's Sheldon. So they're going, that is how this government is operating. Then outside of taking the 150 from all the people under the program, they kick a set of people out of the program who ought to still be under the program. So today, you have people coming to town and they go to Kami and saying this just so, you know. Up to today, you have people going to Kami, well, look, they take my child out from the program. My child was under the program and they removed that child from the program. And they're still not getting the help with the uniform assistance program. Because in certain constituency, I ain't feel like calling the name today, the Spirit movement. But in certain constituency, and I could name the two individuals who sit down in the constituency office, in that constituency, yeah, calling around to ensure that their people are the ones that get the school assistance, not the books, the uniform assistance, when that is supposed to have been done, according to this government, through the schools. You have people sit down in certain constituency offices calling around to their supporters to put them onto the assistance program for them to get the uniform and so, and leaving out people who they know is NNP. Young ladies, stop that. Stop it. One name Yolan. I will drop that much so that you know that I know all you're doing it. One name Yolan. Sit down in the constituency office and calling around. Yeah? So all you feel we know what's going on? And all you like people? How they could like people? Look what they've done to the Marketing and National Importing Board. Yeah? The 90-something workers that went home from there, yes, some were called back and so, but what about the rest of people? How many of them working now? How many of them employed? Yeah? Did they ever get, they were speaking about doing training with the workers and giving them small business training and offering loans to them. That never happened. It never happened. They said we'd have sort out the insurance that these workers were paying into. Ask the workers what happened with that insurance. Ask them what happened with the insurance. And you like people? How you can like people? Even tonight, you see another example. You're doing a national address on crime. Any other country, any other person that really cares about people, if you're doing something on crime, those affected should be mentioned. And you should show sympathy and empathy towards those. That should be some of the first words out of your mouth when you delve into that particular issue. But then, when it's ChatGPT, artificial intelligence, that writes your speech, so that you end up coming reading and you're reading the headings, that Chat GPT does insert, yes, I can tell that Chat GPT does insert in a speech, or when you're writing something, it does insert headings, and the person who put it up for you didn't have enough sense to take out the headings and just let you read, then I do expect you to, because a computer software do have no empathy or sympathy for anybody. So they can tell me that all you like people. When you see what's taking place in the public service right now, where people are being targeted simply because they are perceived, not even known to be, they've never been seen in a rally or anything, but you just worked closely with Minister A or B under the New National Party, or you happen to be related to person A or B who was under the New National Party, they are being targeted. And they're telling me you like people? Or you could like people. And I've had the General Hospital for months. The facilities around the island for months without medication. While you delve into obfuscation and changing stories, twisting and turning left, right, and center, trying to give the impression that we line, it have medication there. Meanwhile, people going there and ending up, it may have had people that died due to that. People had to leave the hospital and run down to go and buy medication to bring back up. People had to leave countryside and come down to buy medication to bring up in the general hospital. And then trying to say that we lying, meanwhile you had people dying. And you could like people, and you could feel okay with a situation like that, and you like people. There's no way they could tell me that they like people. So when people like Cammy call and they get upset and they say these people wicked, you realize I don't stop them from saying what they're saying because they're saying what they feel. Because it's Cammy that sit down in town, and when people hear her voice on this program and other programs, that they go to her and they let everything out. Sometimes they cry and they go and they talk to her. Yeah? So some people might say, but why he doesn't stop? Why he doesn't stop her when she say no? She know what she sees on a daily basis. And while I believe that to move Grenada in the proper direction, everybody needs to come together, and we need unity in the country. Everybody needs to come together. I understand that. But if only one side understand that and the other side only interested in full in their pocket, they ain't interested in running no country, you know. They're interested in full in their pocket. Yeah? That's all they're interested in. You have who is new ambassador, who is ambassador to here, who's ambassador today. All kind of madness. Yeah? All kind of madness. No interest in you, the Grenadian people. Oh, we so love the youth. We're going to do all kind of things for the youth, and we're going to do things for the young people, and we're going to ensure that all of the boards, and so that we have every board, we're going to have youth representative. You take a look at the board of directors of different organizations. Take a look at the board of directors of Grenlec. Take a look at the board of directors of NOWASA, of the Grenada National Stadium Authority, of the Postal Corporation. Take a look at the board of directors of the Port Authority. All these institutions, the National Lottery Authority. Tell me how much young people you're seeing there. Tell me how much young people, in other words, people under the age of 35. I'm using, that one is not CARICOM, that one is the UN, no. UN I think is 25. But there's one, I'm using the upper end. The upper end, they say you're youth once you're under 35. Some organizations say once you're under 30, some say once you're under 25. So I'm using the 35, which I believe is already middle age, but anyway. Are you seeing anybody under the age of 35 sitting on those boards and so on? And in fact, what you're seeing is the same people replicating. So you have people who mother calling radio station and trying to throw word for people and so, because their son sit on about 4 boards. So they could sit on the tourism authority, they could sit on this board and that board and all kind of thing. They sit on so much board that I think is they sit on so much board that I think they're inside Hubbard's lumber yard. Anyway, we have a caller online. Hello, good night.
Sheldon.
Yes, sir.
We have a big fire in the here, boy.
Oh dear.
Huh?
The fire truck is already up there, I hope.
Yeah. but the house done burn already, boy.
Oh no, that's
Done burn
bad.
down already. And they here and my window open and I look out. When my madam look out, one she say, what blazing over there? When we go, oh, why do you see fire? Man, if you see fire, Jesus Christ.
Oh dear. Well, I do hope that some immediate assistance is given to the families. I know that the MP gonna be there within the next few minutes. Once he's on island, he'll be there.
Yeah. Yeah, the fire truck come too late, man. Somebody don't invite them or whatever because the person ain't there, you know.
Oh, so there's nobody in the house?
No, nobody in the house.
Oh boy. Oh,
I feel sad for the person who's the Bondi boy.
My
Telling
goodness.
you, and if you were there, you'd have real fire, children.
Okay.
Yeah, real.
And that's so sad. Okay, my brother.
Yeah. I want to compliment Mr. Olivier.
Go ahead.
I want to compliment him for that talk he gave. What night is that? I feel good. Yeah, I feel good.
All right, my brother.
But let me ask a question. Why now Deacon and them want to invite we Prime Minister? Why now? When Alio ask for help, Alio attack, Alio tell them let we help and everything. All in Parliament they laughing at him. Why now they want help from him? If me, Dr. Michel, I don't bother with them.
Flour more than water.
I don't bother with them.
Flour more than water, they can't make dough.
I don't know why they born them sick. And they wicked, them is devil, Lucifer children. Especially Deacon and the Stanford Simon, Claudette, all of them. Them wicked devil, them murderers. Thank you, Sheldon.
All right, my brother. Thank you. And let's be careful with calling them murderers because I have no information. Might be a fair public comment in colloquial language, but I have no information that any of the individuals you have named have been involved in any murder, not even as a lawyer. So let's be careful with that one because, they want us bad. So we have to still careful, as emotional as we might get. You still have to be careful. Nice. We have a call online. Good night.
Hello, good night, Sheldon. How are you?
I'm quite fine.
All right. Now, let me just give my 2 pence on that calling on the opposition leader to come together and work with them. Now, I personally believe that call is not a genuine call. When you listen to the level of disrespect and the opposition with the ministers, from the Prime Minister to the ministers go down, all in Parliament, you are asking questions, no answer. And today you come on the TV and asking for help. That call is not genuine because it's a game you're playing. And we know that. Thank you very much.
All right, my dear. And I tend to agree with the caller. I don't think it's a genuine call. Say what you want. I do not believe it is a genuine call. Because you have the 50th anniversary of independence. You ain't invite the opposition to send representatives to be on the different committees and so on, so that the views of all Grenadians can be represented and not just a NDC vision for a 50th anniversary of independence, so that the New National Party have nobody that have anything to offer in relation to the 50th anniversary of independence. Come on, man, we have to be more serious than that. You're talking about your steering committee and all kind of thing. I'm waiting to hear. Who is the steering committee? I think you should have, at least, Mr. Prime Minister, if you, at the cabinet level, nearly 2 months ago, you've put together a steering committee. I would have thought that you may have told us who the steering committee is. Yeah? And then what are some of the objectives of that steering committee? So I thought that is why we were going with that. But then remember, so when people say certain things, I can't be upset. You understand? I can't be upset. Because they are the ones that seeing what's going on around them on a daily basis. They are the ones who are being affected and afflicted by what is going on around them on a daily basis. So how can I say to them that I just tell them, well, I disagree and I disagree because of that. No. According to what it is, I can't do that. I can't say that. Yeah? 440-7377 and 347-329-3101. Diaspora. Let me hear all you, man. Yeah. I don't like to use that word, you know. Well, a Grenadian, wherever all you is, you know. But they say diaspora. Well, I know some of the diaspora here. I've been seeing a lot of them around town and different. You could tell, you know. Yeah. Just watching sometime you could tell, yeah. That one, yeah. You have just came into the, yeah, you've returned. I don't like to say the other way. I don't like to use that terminology. But, you know. All right. I think we have a caller online. Good night.
Yeah, good night. Sheldon.
Yes, ma'am.
You remember what he said to the Prime Minister? I didn't call you. You what call me. Prime Minister, opposition leader, don't go no way. Forget them. Don't go. He insult you already. He said, I didn't call you. You what call me. Don't go. Later.
All right, my dear. Well, I think that would be up to the leader of His Majesty's opposition, former Prime Minister, political leader of the New National Party, Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell, will make a decision. Yeah? But I think once it is in the national interest, we may have to set the personal aside and do what is necessary in the national interest. Yeah? I would do what I have to do in the national interest. I could be here today, gone tomorrow. The nation continues. What have I done? What will I do in the national interest? Yeah, I understand where you all are coming from. It's not that I disagree. I understand where you all are coming from. But I'm saying sometimes as individuals, we have to stand down certain things. But I'm saying a genuine person would not allow the things like what was said by Adrian Persuader Thomas in that town hall meeting in the constituency of Dr. Mitchell on Monday. They would not have allowed that sort of thing to be said and go unpunished. And then still, while you're slapping a person with one hand, you're putting the next hand to shake their hand. Yeah? It's like you want to pull them in to slap them again. No. It's more than words. It's deeds. It's not just what they say. And from day one doing this program, I've always said to you all, outside of what a person says, there's a lot behind what they do not say. So you heard the Prime Minister's speech. Those of you that did listen to the speech, those of you that didn't listen, you really miss anything. But those of you that did listen, it's not only what you heard, it's what you did not hear. You did not hear the sympathy. You did not hear the empathy. You did not hear the concern. It was robotic. So you didn't hear the concern there for the young people that are involved, have been involved, or may possibly be involved in some sort of negative behavior. It was just let me see if I could finish read it and think that was it. But you didn't get the empathy coming out there. You didn't, because it's not there, so you can't get it if it's not there. So you can't get a concern for the families because it's not there. So you'll never get that. Yeah? So again, that's why when people say something, people say, oh, God, a lot. No. No. Yeah? And I'm seeing some of the comments there. Yeah? But of course, I think if there's anything that we can do to assist as a political organization, as individuals, and so on, that we can do to assist our country, let's get it done. And the New National Power, the opposition is starting with that tomorrow with the session they're having from 1 p.m. We have a call online. Good night.
Yes, good night, Brother Sheldon and Grenada. Good night.
Nice, beautiful.
Yes. Listen, I've heard the Prime Minister's address. All right. I was happy to hear him. Good to hear him addressing the nation. But to be honest with you, the substance, what I was anticipating in that address, I did not hear it. One, what Prime Minister did not, I can't remember, you could correct me, heard him empathize or sympathize with the persons who had lost their loved ones through those violent issues and otherwise. Okay? Secondly, in that address that they had in the Northwest constituency with the Minister of Health, the caretaker for that area, asking the young persons to advise them or to tell them what to do to help them or to get them money, to get money for them to employ them. I thought he would have addressed that. To be honest with you, that is like a bag of feathers. No substance. It was not substantial. Then the other thing that I was looking forward to hear also, seeing that we have such a rivalry between NNP and NDC, or NDC and NNP, hating each other and not even encouraging or befriending each other from the different political organizations. I was expecting that he would have said to us this time to be very careful and to encourage and enhance a relationship with each person in our country, because we are looking for a unity. Only that I'm hearing that he's asking the political leader and His Majesty Opposition and the team to help them to come on board with that national trust, security trust. Now, I don't have a problem with this, and that's a good. I am happy that he is calling on the opposition to do such thing like that. But guess what, Sheldon and Grenada? The representative or the candidate for the Northeast constituency in Brother Oliver Nimrod Oliver, right? Such a well-rounded veteran security man, international security man. I thought that was the very first person outside of the police organization, right? I thought that would be the first person that he would. I don't know if he'd called him, I don't know. But I just assuming, just as an assertion, that he did not call him, subject to correction. But Brother Sheldon,
Brother Nimrod Oliver said clearly when I asked him if he had been contacted by the government in relation to any sort of assistance and so, that no, he answered no. That has not happened and doesn't expect to get it.
Yeah, I'm talking about today.
Today?
Because be it as it may that they might have called him.
Brother Nimrod, they call you? I know he's listening somewhere.
and finally, in saying, two things in final. One, I would like them to read Isaiah 58 in the Bible. Whatever Bible you can find, get it and read Isaiah 58. That's pointing to them. That's pointing to them. And the final thing I really want to say, it's a shame and a disgrace for how our ministers, our quote-unquote honorable ministers, are handling the affairs of this country and the people of Grenada. I'm ashamed. I'm disappointed. That's not what they said. I listened to Jenny Simon say this evening, and really I was enlightened too in that program. I'm looking forward to the next time. Brother, have a good night.
All right. Thank you so very much, my brother.
Okay.
Yes, indeed. 440-7377. That's the number for you to call and get onto the inside. 347-329-3101. Pariag, not you. Wrong, Yulan. Not you. But believe me, let her go ahead with that stupidness and feel I don't call in the name here and feel I don't know what they're doing. Yulan and the next girl sit down in the constituency office there and calling people and putting people onto the list, and NNP people, you don't want to put them on. Only call in and find NDC people and put them on when it's supposed to be done from the schools. Yeah, feel we don't know what's going on. 440-7377. That is the number that you can use to contact us here on Talking Points. All right? Yeah, that is the number you can use to call us on Talking Points. Yeah, you like people. Look at what they do, Soupmaster. Because remember, you was hearing that Soupmaster was supposed to get a new place. A proper place was supposed to be built. and it's supposed to have proper bathroom and toilet being put in there. Nobody's saying that you could do it within that space of time. But at least if you're putting a temporary structure there, Carnival is coming. That's a point in time that he was a fixture there. For at least the last decade or so, he's been a fixture there. That he sell his soup and different thing, and he make a money. That's what the man thing. No, goodness. 4407377. And the thing is, people are saying the disrespect that has been constantly and consistently shown by the members of the National Democratic Congress in Parliament and outside. Because it was Dr. Mitchell was speaking about the fact that they've removed the 150 from the vulnerable people here in Grenada. And you had two of the members, in other words, two people, that people take their good finger and go and vote for election morning. Two mukunks sit down there and laugh as though there is a joke. So we take the 150, yak. Imagine that. People take their good self and get up election morning and went and vote for these people. And they feel that was okay. We take the money, so what? We put 2,000 on we own though. So if we take 150 from a poor person, that is nothing because they put 2,000 on their own. And them like people, ain't it? Yeah? And then when Dr. Mitchell is speaking, you have Hussein Van, who was under investigation by the customs, yeah, in relation to removal of items from the port authority without due process, where people were suspended and all kind of thing. Remember that? Now don't forget that, You have all of them throwing word for Dr. Mitchell. Throwing word. Why you don't sit down? When members of the opposition speaking, why they don't hush? Why they don't sit down? Now, if you truly want to engage with the opposition and utilize the massive amounts of talent, intellect, capability, competency that exists within the new National Party, if you really and truly want to engage on that level, have some respect. That is where you have to start. Have some respect. Let me try and get this score. Oh, I lost that one. Try and have some respect. Because you can't have a man who has spent that significant amount of time in the parliament, who has served Grenada diligently for many, many years, and try to disrespect him like that when you have nothing to show in your constituency for the time that you have been there. We have a caller online. Good night.
Good night, Sheldon. How are you doing?
Hey, I'm quite fine. How are you?
Idea, man, idea.
All right, you go right ahead. You're live.
Okay on this side?
Yes, sir. Go right ahead. You're live.
Yes, again and again, as I keep emphasizing that the things which have been said and done now, I think we should take note and people should take it into serious consideration. But measures should be placed in time to come to see what kind of representation you will like. Like we see the Minister of Climate Change, Health, and other ministers, like just for name's sake, basically, I got this subject to correction here. But we want people who could be operating as normal, on a normal seas, right? Meaning that we're not supposed to have people advising, these people. Every minister is supposed to stand on their own. Yeah? So you want full learned people. You don't want people to come and say, we are learning. But you cannot do that. You have a nation to govern. And then if you're getting into politics, you should know some of the basic things at least. Yeah? And I think people not paying much of attention here, just they're running into favoritism because they like Sheldon Scott, so Sheldon Scott could run a ministry, not knowing Sheldon even know what the ministries look like. Yeah? So going forward, I think we should pay more emphasis in putting proper structure going forward, in the sense what kind of people get into frontline politics, and anybody should not be allowed in this sense, or else you're going to have this kind of default continues. And how long we plan to continue to have in this form of talk for another 20, 30, 40 years? Does that make any sense? No. If we start to develop quality, right? Quality frontline politician, I don't think so we'll have all this talk show taking place, because then you will see people performance. Yeah? Yeah, and people will be respected in House of Parliament and every other places because they know what positions and powers and respect means. And today we see that doesn't exist. People call all kind of funny names and disrespect the high quality of politicians today. You know, and which is very, very shameless. You know, because I think at one time Grenada was on the peak of politics. You know, today I don't think so. I think Barbados has taken over Grenada. Grenada was looked at as the hub of politics. I mean, you will correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah?
Go ahead.
Yeah, you understand? Mia Motley took over everything. Dr. Mitchell was the frontline politician, clear out where politics is concerned. And today we like nothing. You know, we are like nothing. I mean, it's a bit shame in a sense. From something to nothing within less than a year. I think that's a serious embarrassment.
My brother, that is where we are at right now.
You know, no, it's a serious. I mean, we must take things on a serious level. I mean, if nobody don't say that we have change in the government, and we know we respect everybody. Everybody says democracy. We're talking about open line, front line democracy. So that exists. So we have to respect that. But then again, I'm saying that we must draw lines in what kind of politician, what kind of people, get into frontline politics. Because at the end of the day, you want to attract more people, and the future of the young ones, you encourage them and not destroy them that they don't want to vote. Because in the next election, 2, 3, 4, whatever time, we want more and more people to come forward and vote. But when the current situation, are you attracting more people, especially the young ones? I don't think so.
All right.
And you could see many people from even the NNP side stay away from the last election from voting. There is a good question: what caused them not to vote?
Yeah. All right, caller. I'd like to thank you for your input. We're quickly running out of time. I want to take 1 or 2 more calls. Quickly.
Sure. Good.
All right. Thank you. All right.
We'll go.
Yes, indeed. Yeah. See both phones going, and so I wanted to try and take another call. Callers, call back now. Right, nice. Yeah, so I get the other call there. Hello, good night.
Sheldon.
Hi.
Good night.
Good night, ma'am.
I am wondering. Dr. Kit Mitchell knows the parliament inside out. He's been there long enough. It is said the upholder is worse than the thief. Honorable Prime Minister Dickon Mitchell, he sat in the parliament there and he listened to his ministers being disrespectful to Dr. Kit Mitchell. Very disrespectful. I'm wondering if Prime Minister Dickon Mitchell has what we call a conscience. You sat there. You heard how your ministers was disrespectful in the parliament to Dr. Kit Mitchell. You coming on TV now. You coming now and calling the same man that they were disrespectful to come and help you remedied the issue that you and your said ministers engineered? You calling for help now for what you and your ministers are causing? And you all were so disrespectful to him? Prime Minister Dickon Mitchell, sit down and think. Get your act together. There's a thing they call conscience, and I'm sure you're troubled by it. Your demeanor shows that. How could you, according to your people saying, where is your guts and where is your belly and maybe perhaps your balls?
All the people that's put me in trouble, oh God. Yeah, brother Nimrod, how you doing, sir? Yeah, we had to ask the question. ACP Cohen. Yeah, so if you have 3.6% reduction in crime, if you have a 3.6 reduction in crime in the state of Grenada, why are you all asking for help now? Why is the Prime Minister asking for help? Why are they going to be having all these sessions with youth and mental health workers and nurses and doctors and elderly and retired and law enforcement? Why are they going to have all of these things now if there is no need for it, if people don't need to be concerned? And again, as I'm seeing from my good friend here, he's saying yes, and that's a good point, that by asking for help a week before Carnival is when you're asking for help now. Yeah, next week, Thursday, so I think it's Calypso Finals or whatever. Yeah, so a week away from Carnival is when you're asking for your help. In this instance, you may be the ones who creating hysteria and panic and that kind of thing, because you're asking for the help at this stage. Yeah? When the help was available from day one, the help has always been available. Right? And according to Cammy, we ain't begging all you. We just offer it. We ain't begging all you. Right? And notice, during when he spoke there, he said the important stakeholders and he named a set of people. Then he went on to something else, and then he came and he said, and we are also offering an invitation to the leader of His Majesty's opposition and the opposition team. Yeah? So after he speak about all who they consider to be the important stakeholders, and then he went on to the next matter, then he invited the opposition. So he really considered the opposition to be important stakeholders. The same way they don't consider the GUT to be important stakeholders when they're discussing things as what taking place in the education system. Yeah? So do not be surprised by their actions. Do not be surprised by their behavior. Yeah? As I've told you before, their behavior, their words, and their actions don't match up. In some instances, when you hear them behaving like Wajang in Parliament, yeah, that suit them. That is the true them coming out there. And they know that GIS and them wouldn't put the camera on them and the mic wouldn't be on for people to hear their behavior unless you're sitting in Parliament to see them behaving like Wajang. Yeah? All you know is a Wajang. I might be a Trinidadian too, right? Yeah, they're behaving like Wajang in the Parliament. Man talking about something as important as $150 for poor people, you're laughing. You're throwing word when man offering advice in Parliament. Kate Skeeter Lois offering advice, or let's throw in word. Honorable Emlyn Pierre offering advice, or let's throw in word. Honorable Peter David, Honorable Clarice Modest, the mother of the house, offering advice, or let's throw in word. Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell offering advice, giving direction. All you're throwing word is like, I guess, all you to do something, you have to say don't do it. Folks, that's all the time we have for Talking Points tonight and for this week. It's been wonderful being here with you. And we will be back next week. I am not sure on Monday night. Let me say from now, I am not absolutely positive on a program for Monday night. Definitely Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday we will be on. I am not absolutely sure on a program for Monday night. I will post via the Facebook page, and you would see the thing coming up saying upcoming program and so on YouTube once we are doing the Monday night program, but I am not absolutely sure. I will try, but I'm not absolutely sure on the Monday night's program. All right? But for all of you that have called, all of you that have sent in information, all of you that, even if it's just a kind word that you give us on the streets, we are very thankful to each and every one of you. We love each and every one of you unconditionally. Those of you that send your donations in, we thank you again. And of course, those of you that can do it online, remember the option is available online. Just go to the Talking Points page. You will see the link there that carries you to the Go to Fed thing. You can go there and you can make your donation and so on. All right, that's all the time we have in Whatever You Say and Do it safe and secure. I want to be speaking to and with you and not about you. Love each and every one of you. Let me go and see if I could find a private plane here, boy. Me, yeah, you know. I'm selling all kind of tea right now, man.
Say mama me, mama moo, mama moo. get one free. Man, honesty, you will never deceive nobody. Accountability, everything is just how it should be. Responsibility, you go take good care of your family. So please give me your support. This property cheaper than your vote. Forget rum, forget Heineken, and come and support healthy living. Oi, oi. Mama, 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 mama. Ay, 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 ay. Yes, man. My first year in business start like a bang. I was happy to see what was going on. People stop drinking bush for people fever. Man, they drinking tea now without water. So then they decide to stop drink milk and Milo, Lipton, Ovaltine and cocoa. They ain't drinking black stage no more. Prosperity making the children grow. I selling integrity. Buy one cup and get one free. Man, honesty, you will never deceive nobody. Accountability, everything is just how it should be. Responsibility, you go take good care of your family. So please give me your support. This cup of tea cheaper than a Coke. We know them things have plenty caffeine, so come and support healthy living. Woy woy. Ay 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 ay. Mama moo, mama moo, mama moo, mama moo, yeah. I ain't lie right now, I'm making money. So I go in to expand the company. All kind of people coming to me. They want to know my secret financially. Because I'm progressing with a steady speed. A lot of them feel that I'm selling weed, but I swear my business not illegal. I will not sell poverty at all. I sell in prosperity. Buy one cup and get one free. Morality, you will never deceive nobody. Have some liability. Everything is just how it should be. Man, unity, that is good nutrition for your body. So please give me your support. This cup of tea cheap than Quaker Oats. I know you love back and neck chicken, but come and support healthy living.